Why take unnecessary risk and punishment?
Sure.
If you can get guys out in the first and second round, then why not?
But at the same time, he may go in there and get absolutely schooled by Oleksandr Usyk, or he might knock him out. I don't know. But personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing, and I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
Mike Tyson was 20 years and 5 months when he wins the heavyweight championship of the world. Don't take anything away from Moses Itauma. He could have done that to Dillian in the pomp of his career. You know, there's nobody in the world right now, apart from Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury, who he couldn't pick hold.
Moses Itauma has openly declared himself a danger to Oleksandr Usyk, even predicting he'll finish the job within 2 rounds. But that kind of self-belief can come across as overconfidence. Usyk has battled and beaten some of the toughest names in boxing, proving his class time and time again. For a 20-year-old to claim he could dethrone him so quickly sounds more like youthful bravado than realistic expectation.
2 rounds, like I'm prepared to go for 10 rounds. If it goes that, it goes that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like these fights that I'm going into, I'm not going into them thinking I'm going to knock him out in the first.
And Moses didn't stop with bold knockout claims. He went further, declaring that his overall skill set is already ahead of Usyk's. He presents himself as a prodigy, a rising genius of the heavyweight scene. But at the same time, he admits one crucial gap: lack of experience in the championship rounds. That's exactly where Usyk excels. Under late-round pressure, when talent alone isn't enough, Usyk has proven he can outthink, outlast, and outfight his opponents.
Oh, any heavyweight has enough force, has enough power, has enough pressure to cause damage to me. So that's why it's just the safest way to know.
Moses Itauma might talk like he's already prepared for the top names, but Tony Bellew isn't buying it. In his view, rushing a raw prospect into the ring with someone as seasoned as Usyk would be a huge mistake. Bellew cautions that right now, such a matchup would highlight Moses' lack of experience long before it showcases potential.
That's a dreadful fight for Moses Itauma. I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man, let him develop the same as every other fighter, let him learn.
Duke McKenzie backed up those concerns with a blunt reality check. While Moses Itauma is building a name for himself, McKenzie stresses that he's still miles away from Usyk's level. The Ukrainian isn't just talented, he's a master of his craft, carving out an unbeaten legacy at the very top. Moses may be promising, but promise alone won't cut against a man who represents greatness in today's heavyweight scene.
Moses Itauma is a good fighter, there's no doubt about it, and one day he can go on to be great, but right now he's looking at a generational great in Oleksandr Usyk, and right now I don't think...
Moses Itauma often gets praised for his size and raw potential, but Tony Bellew cuts through the hype with a sharp reminder: size alone won't trouble Oleksandr Usyk. The champion has made a career out of dismantling bigger men with his superior skill and precision. Itauma may well grow into a serious contender down the line, but at this moment, Usyk's technical mastery puts him on a completely different level.
The thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Oleksandr Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Oleksandr Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's next outstanding.
Dave Coldwell admires Moses Itauma's confidence and fearless mindset, noting how the young fighter truly believes he can overcome anyone, even Oleksandr Usyk. But Coldwell also applies caution. In his eyes, facing Usyk at this stage would come far too soon. The Ukrainian's ring IQ, composure, and technical brilliance still set him apart from the rest of the division. Yes, age may be creeping in on Usyk, but his experience at the championship level and ability to adjust under pressure remain unmatched. Coldwell acknowledges Moses' huge potential, yet warns that entering Usyk's world without more big fight seasoning could prove costly.
He's a fighter. He's a winner. He's got plenty of ambition, and he truly believes that he can go in there and beat any man in the world right now, and that includes Oleksandr Usyk. Do I personally think it's too soon? Yes, I do. Usyk's he's a different breed. He's a different fighter. Yes, he's getting older,
Sergey Lapin, the manager Oleksandr Usyk, isn't buying into the growing hype around Moses Itauma. He points out that Usyk has already dealt with countless so-called next big things throughout his career, and every single time, Usyk has come out on top. As a multi-time undisputed champion, Usyk thrives in high-pressure situations where others break. Lapin's stance is simple. A couple of eye-catching performances don't suddenly make Moses a genuine threat. In Team Usyk's view, Moses might be gifted, but he's still untested at the very highest level. Until he proves himself against established world-class opposition, Lapin insists Usyk won't consider him a real danger.
This guy have more opponent, Not okay. Give me Usyk. Every time, every people who is just win one fight, one good fight. Okay, next Usyk. No problem. No problem for Alex Usyk. You know this guy. This guy 3-time undisputed. 4-time, 5-time.
Still, Team Usyk hasn't dismissed Moses outright. In fact, their reaction to his recent win carried a tone of respect. Sergey Lapin praised Moses' impressive victory over Dillian Whyte, admitting that the young heavyweight is a serious talent. But at the same time, he made it clear stepping in with Usyk right now would be a massive gamble. Usyk's tactical genius, defensive sharpness, and wealth of championship experience make him one of the toughest puzzles in world boxing. While Lapin didn't completely shut the door on a future showdown, he emphasized that timing will be everything. Moses still needs seasoning, more big fight pressure, and the right development before he can realistically challenge for throne.
Last fight, Itauma, this good fight. Turkey is good man. This organize more big fighter, more big event, and we see what we do, what next step, and we see what proposition with about.
Duke McKenzie views Moses Itauma as a star in the making but urges caution. In his eyes, a handful of fights against proven contenders would sharpen Moses into a true wrecking machine. Still, McKenzie draws a hard line. Right now, nobody dethrones Oleksandr Usyk. The Ukrainian's world-class skill, ability to adapt, and championship mindset make him untouchable at the top. For Moses, McKenzie stresses that patience is a key. Gaining experience today will set him up perfectly for the blockbuster battles that are sure to come in the near future.
There's the more experience on his side, Itauma.
That's it. Absolutely.
Another 4 or 5 fights down the line, then you're looking at an absolute wrecking ball. Then he would beat everybody put in front of him.
But
nobody's going to. Yeah, nobody's going to.
He said Saturday who's going to give him the hands. That's what he was saying. He wants them out.
Nobody beats Usyk, right?
Russ Amber, one of the sport's most respected trainers, has given perhaps the highest praise to Moses so far. He describes a young heavyweight as one of the best prospects boxing has seen in years. Not because of hyper headlines, but because of the fundamentals he shows inside the ropes. Amber points to Moses' sharp footwork, clean punch selection, and calmness under fire as proof of his natural talent. Unlike others, he doesn't see the recent win over Dillian Whyte as the only reason for excitement. Instead, it's Moses' consistency and ring IQ that stand out. In Amber's eyes, Moses already operates at a technical level far beyond most fighters his age, something that could soon separate him from the pack. Still, he stops short of saying Moses is ready for Oleksandr Usyk today. For Amber, it's about potential and patience. The foundation is elite, but long-term growth remains a key.
I think Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over Dillian. I hope you understand, when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably.
Former unified world champion Amir Khan shines a light on something many overlook in boxing: timing. He believes pushing Moses Itauma into mega fights too early could be a mistake. At just 20 years old, Khan stresses that Moses still has time on his side to grow physically, sharpen his skills, and gain valuable experience against strong opponents. In Khan's view, the right moment for Moses to face names like Usyk, Wilder, Joshua or Fury will be closer to age 22 or 23. Khan's opinion comes from personal experience. He knows the dangers of being fast-tracked too soon. His advice is simple. A steady, calculated climb is better than chasing quick headlines. He praises Moses' natural talent, but reminds everyone that at heavyweight, one wrong move against the elite can stall a career. If Moses builds patiently, Khan believes he can become truly unstoppable by the time he reaches his peak.
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get 22, 23 years old. That's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him.
Gareth A. Davies, one of the sport's most outspoken analysts, brings a different perspective to the debate. For him, timing isn't only about how quickly Moses Itauma develops. It's also about where Usyk is in his career. Usyk is edging toward the final chapters of his boxing journey, and by the time Moses reaches full maturity, Usyk could already be close to 40, perhaps unwilling to take such a dangerous fight against a hungry young contender. Davies also points out the financial angle. If the right promoters like Turki Al-Sheikh throw serious money on the table, Usyk might be tempted despite the risks to his legacy. But if negotiations drag out for too long, the chance could disappear altogether. In short, Davies warns that Moses' team has to strike the perfect balance. Be patient, yes, but not so patient that the Usyk opportunity fades away before Moses even gets his shot.
Sure that Usyk will want to fight Moses if he's 40 already. So maybe the clock is ticking. The clock is clicking. The clock is ticking for Moses to fight Usyk before he's 40. Maybe as well, he won't want to ruin his legacy. But maybe if Turki Al-Sheikh wants to see the fight, put up enough money, maybe he will fight him. And maybe the legacy will be ruined. But maybe if he fights him before he's 40...
Moses' rapid rise has shaken the entire heavyweight scene. But his next steps aren't simple. They're filled with strategy, timing, and serious risk. Experts are split. Some, like Russ Amber, see him as already having the technical brilliance to dominate. Others, like Amir Khan, stress patience, warning that rushing could derail his career. Meanwhile, Gareth A. Davies highlights the ticking clock. With Usyk's age and possible retirement, the chance for a blockbuster clash might not last long. What's clear is that Moses' talent is undeniable, but every decision from this point will shape his legacy. Should he chase Usyk right now and gamble everything, or wait until his prime to claim the throne? The heavyweight picture is shifting fast, and all eyes are on Moses. So tell us, should he go for it now, or build more experience first? Drop your predictions in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think.